When I was 14, I traveled to Europe with my parents. We stopped to visit a friend of my father from after the war, south of Paris. And it turns out his friend was married to the daughter of Alexander Calder. And so we stayed in the compound where Alexander, who calls himself Sandy Calder, lived. And I was a 14-year-old boy getting around, and I happened upon his studio and peeked in and watched him working. He had Parkinson at the time, but when he worked, his hand would be still. I had my 15th birthday while we were there, and he presented me this sculpture as my 15th birthday present. He wasn't a very talkative person, but he was very humorous. My mother came in with some nesting baskets she had bought at the market, and he said, well, maybe they'll get small enough and just disappear.
And tell me about his studio. What did it look like?
An old French farmhouse, kind of like not even a farm, more of a barn.
And there were like pieces of metal and wire.
Pieces of metal and
over,
wire.
And he'd wander around and pick up something.
And mock-ups, some bigger pieces under construction. He would make small versions and then make larger versions. I don't know if this one has a larger counterpart somewhere. I don't know.
Calder is one of America's leading sculptors of the 20th century. His father was a very prominent sculptor. He was an academic sculptor, but Calder started out as an engineering student, and you can see how that became part of the artwork that he started to do. One of the most wonderful things he did, he built a circus out of wire and cloth and wood, and he would have all his friends come, and he would perform the circus acts.
Oh my gosh.
This is wonderful because you have the base and this amazingly balanced piece. Maybe you could show us how it's balanced. And that's it. And what is there, a little indentation
Just a
there?
little hole in the...
And it sits right there. It's wonderful. I've never heard of better provenance on something artistic than what you've given us. But it still has to be submitted to the Alexander Calder Foundation. They authenticate pieces. As you can see, these are relatively easy to make, so they're very easy to be faked. In a gallery setting, this would be $250,000.
Wow. Geez, that's amazing. I mean, it's probably worth more than that to me, just in memories, but that's spectacular.
Yeah.